go back at it again at the Krispy Kreme.
Your mic is watery.
Oh. Take 2 on the Krispy Kreme joke.
Sounds good.
Oh god.
Yeah, nothing like unplugging and plugging back in.
Oh.
Let's go to see the stars and the moon. I'd fly far into space as long as I am with you. The light in my bright eyes when you're near. The fluttering I feel in my chest when you are here. I can't explain this kind of love. It pulls me to you, I want it, I can't get enough. So share this precious light with me. Just take my hand and let's enjoy the things that we'll see. Let's go to see the stars and the moon. I'd fly far into space as long as I am with you. The light in my bright eyes when you're near. The fluttering I feel in my chest when you are here. I can't explain this kind of love. It pulls me to you, I want it, I can't get enough. So share this precious light with me. Just take my hand and let's enjoy the things that we'll see.
Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to Dynascape's Intermediate Cup. This time, for real. Had some pretty interesting results the last couple of hours. Some by our hand and some by the player's hand. But we're back at it once again to bring you guys a winner's bracket match. It is going to be the 6th seed, Los Pelelas, going up against the 11th seed, Roblox Addicts. Not a lot on the line for these two teams, but you definitely want to keep that winner's bracket run alive for as long as humanly possible. And oh boy, does it feel good to be back, officially, this time. As always, my name is Sparky, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by none other than Dark Mewtwo. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Excited for this match, actually, because I just noticed that in Los Pelelas, they have Zillmania, who is, I'd say, arguably the best accuracy player in the tournament, based on their scores. So, yeah, excited to see how we're going to do on this map pool, and yeah.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to. It's always interesting once we start closing ranks a little bit with some of these seedings. You start kind of overlapping the skill sets. I think you were pointing out to me before this stream started some of the results that both these teams have had, and a bit of an interesting journey for both involved. I think you mentioned Roblox Addicts taking the tiebreaker in round of 32. As 11 seed, a little bit interesting being in the lower half of the top half of the seedings, getting taken a tiebreaker by somebody a little bit closer to them. Let's see how they do with somebody ahead of them in the seeding.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a harder time on this, although I would say that based on their skill sets, as the map rules progress, they might have an easier time since they seem to be more adept on harder maps. But we'll see if they're able to keep up with Los Pelelas here, as they're really, really strong on the Rice and somewhat of trouble on the LN side of pools, but they can still pull out some alright scores. So we'll see how they handle it, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very interesting. We've had a bit of a break between the last couple of matches. What was it, 21 UTC match was a win by default, and then 22 did get played, but unfortunately not able to bring you guys that one. But we are back. Everything is back in working order. And right now we are just waiting for the Roblox Addicts to arrive. Both Hatbull and Regression not present in the lobby just yet. We do have the Los Pelelas players in, so that's good. At least we have half of the match.
I've actually just checked general chat, and Roblox Addict seems to be not online currently.
Oh, my heart. I would. Oh man, I am currently 0 for 2 in my return to commentating. I would hate to be 0 and 3. If anything, we could have a nice little podcast. Maybe just go over some of the things that have happened so far this weekend. Any interesting results so far to speak of? We've had some pretty close matches already. We had a tiebreaker yesterday at the 14:30 mark. Indomie and Pokin Gibberish went all the way down to the wire, 5-4. Pokin Gibberish taking that one, and then everything else kind of bog standard. Some sweeps here and there, a couple 5-3s, just teasing that tiebreaker, but not really making it all the way. The match prior to this that did not get streamed, unfortunately, Banger Name and Fortnite Lollit Club. That one ended 5-2 in favor of Banger Name, so congratulations to them. That was a loser's bracket match, so being able to make it to the quarterfinals, keep their tournament run alive, definitely very good, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of these matches coming up. Some of them are quite interesting, where we have basically all the only losers bracket matches, but some really close seedings there. Looking at for further inquiries, please, I don't have the rest of that name, against Grug Shakers being C26 versus 23. That is going to be a close match to look out for, as well as Volcano with C27 against Nepca Culture at C22. Those seem like interesting matches to look out for, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot to look forward to later on as we cross into the second half of the round of 16 weekend. And hopefully everybody's excited for what is to come for the quarterfinals, because oh boy, that pool is going to be very interesting. I think we're both privy to what's coming. I think there's some pretty interesting picks in that pool, but we won't really reveal anything just yet. And we're still trying to nail down a time. Once we get closer to the end of the weekend, once we finalize the matches, we'll give you guys a definitive time for that showcase. But for right now, got another, what, 10 minutes to kill before things wrap up here?
Yeah. I just got pinged. I'm looking at some other tournaments happening right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of things going on this weekend. Yeah, stuff like the Taiko World Cup going on as well, for those of you that like to hit some drums. Of course, who watches that, because we don't know who's going to win that tournament at the end of the day, but it's always nice to see who finishes second.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at Osu Collegiate League, the Mania one, is actually having their qualifier showcase happening right now, so
Oh, fantastic.
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the Collegiate League, always a very interesting tournament to keep track of as well. One of our near and dear friends of the stream, Pork, being the long-standing stalwart of that tournament, keeping it going, despite maybe spreading those a little too thin sometimes, but we appreciate him for it, because that is a fantastic tournament series. If you guys get a chance to catch some of those matches, I would recommend it.
I would too, as both me and Logan, who are in the map pooling team for this tournament, are going to be playing it together, since we are
That's
both
true.
from Arizona.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's going to be
So,
fun.
if you'd like to see some of your map poolers for this tournament get put through their own paces, definitely go catch them in that tournament. But for right now, we are still waiting. 7 minutes have elapsed, 8 minutes left to go. Will the Roblox Addicts make it to their match? It's amazing. The win by default so far, there's only been one, which was about 3 hours ago. That was also a winner's bracket match. It's like, guys, that winner's bracket.
Yeah, just come here. Like, it's right here.
Exactly. Like, you get 2 chances. Why are you gonna blow one of those chances by not showing up? Regardless, I mean, life gets in the way sometimes. It's understandable, but come on, like, something out. Like, I'd like to think Dyna has been pretty easygoing. Maybe just a little bit lenient on some of these reschedules. We do appreciate you guys, of course, rescheduling when necessary, of course. But yeah, better to beg for a late reschedule than to not show up at all. Because honestly, would love to commentate a match. It's been like 3 weeks since I've been in a casting booth. I have so many words that I could say. I could talk about accuracy. I could talk about combo patterns. I can misname patterns, which annoys a lot of people. But they're too nice to tell me about it. They're really nice. I don't know what a shield is, but I like throwing the word out sometimes whenever I see LN structures, because it makes me feel good.
So a shield is actually very interesting, because it's literally one of the most confusing patterns that is used like sparingly in terms of like naming.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, a shield is just a note right after an LN. Okay.
I have been saying it backwards the entire time.
Right.
For the past 2 years. I have said that a shield is when the long note comes after the right note.
Yeah, it's people.
That's a reverse shield.
Yeah, people will use like a jack before a shield, like a note before. A jack before an LN or a note before an LN as a shield, but that's a reverse shield. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter, because what really annoys people, or like what people have trouble playing, is reverse shields and not shields.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
your pattern.
You'll hear people here and it's like, yeah, either a jack or a shield. But usually probably means the note before an LN and not the one after. But
you know what I find funny?
Yeah,
is that the competitive player pool, everybody and their mothers can play chord jack picks, but if you hit them with mini jack patterns inside of an LN pick, they just go ballistic. They hate that. And I find it so funny that these hyper accurate core jack players complain about these patterns.
You know, I would be inclined to agree. I don't know, I can't really say for them because I'm quite core jacks are like my weakest skill, like out of anything. I would say I'm better at SVs. I would say, but I'm even better at SVs than core jacks, which is saying something.
Yeah.
Since I have barely ever, I mean, I've played quite a bit of SVs, but not like ever really gotten into it. And so, and I do also have trouble with reverse shields on LN maps because it's so easy to mess up. Yeah, like you're concentrating on like coordinating so many notes, and just having to hit twice in a row is just sometimes so disorienting.
Yeah.
Especially in succession, but yeah.
Exactly. Like when there's a long dedicated structure of just either shield or reverse shield patterns, it is so obnoxious to play. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel the sentiment, but I still just find it so funny that is the thing. That is like the Achilles heel. So many players. I mean, as more tournaments progress, it just feels like the number of weaknesses that players have just shrinks ever more and more, because it just feels like everybody can play everything at this point. We can't make anything hard enough for these people anymore. That it's like, yeah, we're just gonna, that's why you get the more annoying patterns. You're getting too good at this game.
But it's so, yeah. Talking as a player for tournaments, I really dislike having a lot of mini jacks in my maps.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Usually, when I'm playing on my own, like in solo, just whatever, mini jacks are fine. I'm like, yeah, it's a map, whatever. But being consistent at hitting mini jacks for a tourney, just like being told, oh yeah, you gotta FC this right now, is so nerve-wracking and so easy to mess up. I mean, I know some people are able to like actually be very consistent on those, and I will never understand how.
Yeah, people just have a knack for it, but I mean that when it comes to map pool structure, that's always been the thing that just makes me laugh, because it's just such an odd thing. In my eyes, that's just from my perspective, like as an avid watcher, because God knows I can't play like half of the things that get thrown out in tournaments. This stuff is cool, but just in general, I just sit here in awe, and it comes from nowhere but a place of admiration. The fact that players put up with it, and honestly, I'm glad, because it gives me something to talk about whenever we're on stream.
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of the maps recently have just been quite hectic in the mapping. I mean, you look at mappers like Dreamwalker, Dr. Mango, Abraxos, or Bringo. I can name a lot of these mappers, but they have such a odd like pattern and map structure to them that as a map individually like flows really well, or sometimes not so much, but like it works with the song and it makes sense. But in a tournament settings, it is always one of the funniest things to me to see a map so like I guess different from your traditional or stand-in mapping as we see in ranked or whatever, being just played here, and it's like, yeah, getting used to these maps is really difficult, but really fun as well. Some of my favorite maps that I've found were from these mappers, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's really all it is. It's a nice way to break some of the monotonies, break what players are used to, especially in settings like this where it's like intermediate to beginner. If you harken back to like Cold Open Cup, it's like it exposes players to different varieties, different styles, and I'm hoping that the player base is appreciating what we're trying to have them play. It's like, yeah, you'll have those couple of picks where it's like, okay, fine, we get the 180 BPM jump stream, or we get the 280 BPM stream map. It's like, okay, those are mainstays. You need to have some standard picks just to make sure we're not just throwing like Abraxos tech at you like constantly. And And with that being said, 15 minutes have elapsed. The Roblox addicts are a no-show. And Los Pelelas, by virtue of just sitting here for 15 minutes, move on to the quarterfinals by a score of -1 to 0.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for Roblox addicts. They could have just showed up. They could have, not sure if they had any kind of like problems were happening, but yeah, Los Perez will be taking this, one of the easiest matches in their lives, probably. And yeah, we had a nice talk.
Yeah, that was a very nice chat.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to do that again. Hopefully we can turn our attention to actual gameplay. But I mean, them's the bricks. It happens every now and again. So with that being said, we can take a look at the schedule and a quick glance at the bracket overall. Get to see where everybody shakes out here. The last couple of matches, losers brackets.
Looking, Los Pelelas now winning this match will be going up against Cat Yum, Dog Yum, Rabbit Yum, Tiger Yum, I think is the last one.
I think so.
Yeah, in the quarterfinals. So, and they are seed 3, so that is going to be a close match, I would bargain, especially with Los Pelelas' ability to perform on rice maps. And as for Roblox addicts, they will be going against the winner of... I'm not going to attempt it. I'm not doing that. It's your turn. You got it.
Which one?
The Rush Tangur... the seed 32.
Oh, oh god, I literally spent like an hour trying to remember how to pronounce this name. I can't think of it right now. Something Canal Lads or something. I translated it. That's the rough translation, but I'm sure there's an inside joke between the three of them. For the deeper meaning of it. But I'll learn it for next week. With that being said, the next match will be at 2 UTC. It's going to be for further inquiries. Please contact our manager and Grug Shakers. I had half of it on one screen and half of it on the other screen. It worked out perfectly.
Okay. Yeah.
So until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Bye-bye.